put pressure on Britain to avoid a hard border in Ireland in the event of a no-deal Brexit. Mr Bhavani speculated on how that pressure on Britain might be applied.
What I took away from the meeting was that British Airways continues to want to fly from London to the continent, and that if Europeans got really, really upset, they could make BA's life very difficult. So, no, I did not go into the specifics.
That's it for now. More in an hour.
News Talk Weather.
Thanks to the AA. For peace of mind, we provide cover for your valuables outside of the home once they're specified on your home policy. Go online to the aa.ie.
Cloudy tonight with mist and fog building and a risk of some patchy drizzle. Clear spells in the southwest, taking temperatures down to between 1 and 3 degrees, but it'll be milder in other parts with lows of 4 to 8. Now you're up to date on News Talk.
The News Round on Off the Ball.
With Gillette. Proud supporters of Movember. Gentlemen, let's mow.
This is News Talk.
All right, you're welcome along to Thursday's Off the Ball. Nathan with you until 10 o'clock, and we have got a very special show for you this evening. To mark John Giles' 80th birthday, we have some big names lined up, and John himself over the next few hours. To mark the occasion in the appropriate fashion, we're going to be joined by the likes of Liam Brady, Graham Souness, Eddie Gray is going to be with us, and some very special guests dropping in as well over the next little while. 53106 if you want to get in touch, if you have any messages for John, or you can get us on Twitter at Off the Ball. We'll also a little bit later be looking ahead to Cork against Kerry in the Munster semi-final, the latest in our Super Value Road shows. We're going to get a little bit nostalgic with Dr. Khan and Bomber Liston alongside Joe Malloy. That's coming your way after 9 o'clock. First, though, we're going to run through all the day's sport. It is the News Round with thanks to Gillette. We don't just play the game, we change it. Gillette, made of what matters. Richie McCormack is with us. Good evening, Richie.
Evening, Nathan. How are you?
I'm very well, and we are also at the start. When we go to John Giles, we hear a beautiful montage of his life in football, and he has done it all as a player, as a manager, as a pundit. He has had more influence football-wise in this country, I think, probably than anybody else, Richie.
Yeah, it's definitely fair to say he was the first modern great footballer. We had very, very good footballers before that, like Jackie Carey and Al Cantwell, etc. But John, an incredible footballer, and set the standard and the benchmark for everybody. I think that went after him, from Liam Brady to Paul McGrath to Roy Keane to Robbie Keane and beyond. Like, he was and still is the guy. And then he's defined how we talk about football in this country as well. So to define essentially what a great player is in this country, first of all, and then to define how we talk about football in this country, or at least to help do that, is quite the remarkable legacy for John. And it's an absolute pleasure to kind of be able to occasionally spend airtime with him. Both
a great player, and then helped us to define what the difference was between a good player and a great player.
Yeah, exactly. It's those little minutiae that I guess when I was putting together that montage kind of came to the fore. I mean, there's so much. Like, it was a pleasure to put that thing together, and it was also very difficult because you want to do somebody justice. You also want to be able to fit it inside, I don't know, 25 minutes if it's going to be a montage. With John, it could well have been that. Like, there's so much that was left, for want of a better term, on the cutting room floor, or should I say, a file on my desktop. But there's lots that could have made it in there that didn't. But yeah, trying to condense everything down to 3 minutes, a nigh on impossible task, and I hope it did him justice.
Yeah, I think you certainly did do him justice, and we're going to bring you that in just a couple of minutes' time. First, though, we do want to run through all the scores because there's a lot of live sport going on this evening, particularly in the Europa League. Dundalk, things are going all right.
Yeah, not bad. 5:55 start, so into the second half in these early kickoffs. In the Austrian capital, it's Rapid Vienna 1, Dundalk 1. Pat Huben was the beneficiary of some terrible Vienna goalkeeping, and a brilliant Chris Shields pass, it must be said as well, to give the midfielder his due. He gave Dundalk an early lead, but Dejan Ljubčić equalised for the hosts midway through the first half. 1-1 it remains. There's an 8 o'clock start to the other game in that group, which sees Arsenal entertain Molde. Elsewhere among the early kickoffs, Rangers went behind, I should say, early away to Benfica, but now lead by 3-1, and Benfica have also had a man sent off in that Group D encounter. And Harry Kane has scored his 200th career goal for Tottenham. He gave Spurs the lead away to Ludogorets tonight. Lucas Moura provided the second, with Harry Kane providing the assist for that one. Ludogorets, though, pulled one back 5 minutes into the second half, so 2-1 now to Spurs. Elsewhere at 8 o'clock, Celtic playing host to Sparta Sparta Prague, and Leicester are at home to the Portuguese of Braga. Stephen Kenny as well naming his 26-man squad today for the friendly with England and the Nations League games with both Wales and Bulgaria. Seamus Coleman returns, having missed last month's matches, while James McCarthy is included, despite not having played since picking up an injury against Wales last month. There's a first call-up under Kenny for Luton striker James Collins, but no Shane Long, or indeed Seanie Maguire. No David McGoldrick either, who announced his international retirement yesterday, and it was a decision that didn't necessarily surprise Kenny.
No, I think he it was always his intention to retire. I think for, obviously, he's had, you know, I think he can speak for himself, but obviously he had an injury with that he played with in Slovakia, you know, in around the groin region, and the abductor injury, and I think it affected his training. Subsequently lost his place to Sheffield United because he was, you know, because his training program was affected, and he hasn't started the last few games there. So I think he has, you know, he's a private man and he has his own reasons, and I think we have to respect that.
Yeah, some interesting stuff out of Stephen Kenny. Suggested that McGoldrick's absence may mean that we see a lot more of Aaron Connolly playing through the middle. Also said that there was a good chance Coleman and Doherty would have played together in Slovakia if Coleman was fit. All that is up on otbsports.com right now. Just to let you know that here on OTB, the big names keep on coming as part of our Cadbury FC series of remote road shows. So far, we've had some brilliant in-depth chats with the likes of Gary Neville, Teddy Sheringham, Packy Bonner, Shay Given, Saul Campbell, Ian Wright, Glenn Hoddle and Harry Redknapp. Next up, it's a big one. We've got Jason McAteer, and alongside Jason McAteer, Kenny Dalglish, the king himself, Kenny Dalglish. That is going to be coming your way on Sunday, November 15th. So stay tuned to OTB Sports social channels for more details, and get on to otbsports.com to check out all those previous remote shows. That's right, McAteer and Dalglish.
Come here. You've siphoned that off for yourself, haven't you?
The Prince and the King. Let's not get into that now, Richie. Listen, these things just happen. If I happen to be in the office, sitting there, when Kenny Dalglish is right in front of me, these things just happen.
Like, I got a blazer for the eldest communion that never really is going to get the war. Like, I can put that on and come in if that needs doing. Like, just let me know. I'm just a phone call away. Phone's always, you know, nearby.
Anyways, Richie, it's all thanks to Cadbury FC. Check out cadburyfc.com for updates and promotions and giveaways. I was trying to go with some sort of McAteer Prince, Kenny King, but we'll have to work on that over the next week or so. Yeah. What else you got for us?
Former Merry All Black James Lowe is in line to make his debut for Ireland against Wales tomorrow week. The Leinster winger, who qualified through the residency rule just at the start of this month, is one of 3 uncapped players included in Andy Farrell's 34-man squad for the Autumn Nations Cup. Ulster at half Billy Burns and Munster centre Shane Daly are the other 2. Munster winger Keith Earls is fit again and rejoins the squad, as does the Ulster forward Ian Henderson, who has completed a ban. Jack Conan, though, goes back to his province. Some promising news on the fan front from up north. More than 1,000 Northern Ireland fans will be allowed to attend next week's Euro 2020 playoff with Slovakia at Windsor Park. Supporters will be given socially distanced seats after 600 were allowed in for last month's game with Austria. Tickets will be allocated via ballot. And Shane Lowry has made a promising start to golf's Houston Open. He carded a 1 under par round of 69. As things stand, he is 2 shots off the clubhouse leaders, who are Cameron Davis and Michael Thompson. Padraig Harrington, for his part, he is currently 2 over par. He's playing the last. Actually, he's just birdied the final hole. He's 1 over par, finished up at a 71 today. Graham McDowell, he has parred his opening 2 holes, and he remains level par there.
Speaking of golf, Golf Weekly is available right now, but also we're giving you the chance to enjoy some of the best courses in the world at one of the most iconic golf clubs in the world, and you won't even need to worry about the weather, because the K Club's exciting new K Golf World concept is launching at the resort. It's for all golfers, from low handicappers to hackers like myself, and it involves a suite of state-of-the-art standalone golf simulators with 8 high-tech bays, each accommodating a maximum of 4 golfers at a time. They're available for €40 per hour per bay. For further information and to reserve your time, see kgolfworld.ie. And remember, K Golf World will open as soon as it's safe to do so. Tonight, one lucky listener and a guest will win a 2-night stay at the K Club with breakfast on both mornings and 3 hours and lunch or light bites in the new K Golf World. For your chance to win, tell us which Irishman won on the PGA Champions Tour last weekend. Not a fan of a particularly stupid question. It's just a little bit of a hint for you right there. Text the word golf, followed by your answer and name to 53106 for 30 cent. And again, be sure to visit kgolfworld.ie for more info. Richie, I think we're done.
I'll be in for the Dalglish thing, okay?
Great. I'll pencil you in. That's 3 weeks' time, Richie, so we'll have a lot of time to prep for that.
Grand.
All right,
I'll
Richie,
save up my bus fare.
your hard work is coming up next because we are, right after this, going to be celebrating the 80th birthday of the great John Giles.
The News Round on Off the Ball.
With Gillette. Proud supporters of Movember. Gentlemen, let's mow.